first year after losing my brother was the hardest year of my life. This is not an advice, but it's more of my own experience that I would like to share with you today. If you're going through this is for you. Me and my brother, we were very close to each other. Although we were apart in different countries, we lived very mentally and emotionally close together. We used to have daily calls, and we used to talk about many different subjects. And to me, my brother was the closest person to me. I could tell him everything about myself, he was telling me about himself, and we had an incredible relationship. In December 2024, it was Friday evening, we had a chat, we had a call with the family, we were discussing different things, and we had a very nice conversation. After that, he said that he needs to go with his friends out. At that time, he was living in San Diego, and I was living in Sweden. So we hung up the call, and we were like, okay, we can have another call in Sunday or next Monday. Unfortunately, my brother passed away on Sunday morning. He was involved in a collision, and he was driving westbound, going back to San Diego. Unfortunately, a car came to his lane and crashed to him head on. Unfortunately, my brother died on the scene after maybe a couple of minutes or even seconds. My brother to me was everything. We were supposed to meet each other very soon. He was planning to come to Europe to meet me. When my brother died, I felt like I lost everything. I lost myself, I lost my identity. Many different things happened in my life. I lost many things afterwards. There were those days that I didn't want to get out of the bed. I didn't have the mood to do anything. I felt I am stuck in my life. And there were those days that I was not sure what I'm supposed to do or what I'm going to do. I was grieving and mourning my brother day and night. My brain was just, attached to him. I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't work, I couldn't study, I couldn't eat properly, I couldn't even do gym or anything. I felt completely stuck and helpless. And that was the time that I decided that I want to be in solitude. So I believe that solitude would help me to ground myself. A lot of people in this type of situations, they start to use drugs or alcohol and stuff like that. For me, I believe everything comes down to mindset. In this kind of situations, you must be extremely mentally strong. It's like if you are not strong enough, you can maybe damage yourself, you can damage your health, you can damage your loved ones. So in these kind of scenarios or situations, you must be so grounded, and you should be able to think of what would he want you to do. If he was here right now, what would he tell you? What would he want you to do? So Me losing my brother was extremely difficult. I felt hopeless. I felt helpless. I felt I can't do anything. I felt like I don't want to even be alive anymore because I lost my purpose. I felt like there's nothing I can do. So I entered my solitude. I I will explain actually how it was, maybe in another video. That's another video for itself. But it was just me and myself, meaning that I tried to think of how can I survive this situation? How can I get better? How can I still go after my goals and achieve my goals? Because I am a goal-driven person, and so was my brother. And we have a lot to catch up. We have a lot to achieve, you know? We can't just give up on life. Although it's difficult, although nobody understands, although people would say time heals, that's really not true. Time doesn't heal. Right now it's over a year, and every day I'm still thinking about my brother. Every day I am mourning my brother. He died one time. I am dying every day. So I'm not here to give you extra motivation. I'm not here to tell you time will heal you, or someone else comes to your life that is going to fill his or her space for you. I'm here to tell you this is something that we must unfortunately accept. That's the truth and that's the reality. I cannot bring back the life. I cannot bring back the time. It was very difficult for me to accept. It is still difficult for me to accept. Sometimes I just can't. But I just accept the fact that he is not here anymore. I cannot hear his voice anymore. I cannot see him anymore. And it's difficult. It's only people who have lost their loved ones can understand. You know, it's that kind of situation or scenario where if you haven't experienced it yourself, you would never understand how it feels. I was not able to meet my brother for eight years, and after 8 years I met him on a bench in a mortuary. It was difficult. I'm also an emotional person, so I allowed myself to cry. I allowed myself to have my emotions for free. I didn't want to hold it back, so I was true to myself. And I do not attempt to fight this. This is how it is, and this is the reality. This is the actual reality that I cannot change. So I do not fight it, I just accept it. Sometimes I feel guilty that, 8 years, I could just book a flight and travel and meet him. He could do the same too. We apparently didn't manage to do that. We were thinking to do it this year, but unfortunately he passed away. So sometimes I feel like guilty. I feel like maybe I could, but I didn't. But this is also a normal feeling when we lose someone. We try to review every single second that passed. We try to understand like what we did wrong, or what we didn't do enough, or what we didn't or couldn't do or could do. I try to live with all of this. I don't deny it. I don't push it back. I don't try to avoid it. Sometimes I feel guilt. Sometimes I'm like, damn, brother, you could, live a better life. You had a huge opportunities in front of you. My brother was only 29 years old. He loved motorcycles and he had the best motorcycles on the earth, the fastest ones. And he lived his way, his own life. That's what I admire about my brother. You know, it's very sad for me that I lost my brother. And it's very difficult. The only thing that helps me or puts a smile, let's say, on my face is that he lived his life his way. That's what makes me happy for him, because he died while he was doing the best thing, the most joyful thing ever. For him, riding a motorcycle was not just fun or a hobby, it was standard. It was like a church. Every Sunday he was going canyon rides, every single Sunday with his friends. This was the most joyful moment of his life. He was enjoying it to the max. Nothing else could make him more happier than this. So that's what I'm happy for him. But me as a brother, especially as an older brother, I feel pain. You know, it's like he had all his life ahead of him. He didn't have to lose his precious life. Somebody else made a mistake and he paid for it with his life. This is what is really difficult to accept. He died simply because someone else made a mistake. But he knew the risk. Every single time he was riding the bike, he knew the risk. Yet he chose this path. And I'm happy for him because he lived his life his way. And that's what makes me happy, because I believe that my brother came to this world and achieved his goal. So if he didn't achieve his goal, if he didn't live his life the way he wanted, then it would be even more sadder for me. So how did I survive after that? I started with daily routines. I started to organize my sleeping schedule. I started to clean up my eating pattern. I started working out again. And so for me, I'm a very structured person. The structure brings a lot of things to my life, like clarity, like being able to manage my daily routine, like being able to achieve different milestones, different goals. Sometimes I try to read different books, listen to some music, maybe do some breathing exercises, trying to work out every day, eat as healthy as possible, try to go walk. So there are different techniques that I will share later on in other videos that worked for me, that might also be able to work for you. But in this video I want to tell you that this is something that you need to live with. He is not coming back. You must accept this. This cannot be changed. But think of yourself as of what would he want you to do? Does he want you to go smoke or drink alcohol? Or does he want you to survive, flourish, accomplish your goals, continue with life the way you deserve, live your life on your own terms? So what works for you might be different from what works for me. Sometimes you need to sit down and think. Sometimes I was laying down, looking at the ceiling and doing nothing, trying to empty my mind. Because my mind was too much filled with different noises, so I had to get rid of it. I had to calm down internally. So I had to relax myself. Sometimes you have to train yourself with your own brain. Say, for example, a great man said once, if you want to make a change in the world, start from your bed. Why? Because you accomplish one task, one goal. Sometimes you have to train your mind with your own mind to be able to achieve different things. If you have a goal, if you have a milestone, if you have a need, if you have a want, if you have a desire. There are those days that are good days, and there are those days that are bad days. And there are those days that are the worst days in life. Now it's down to us. How do you want to deal with that? That's how life is. Sometimes life is cruel. Nothing is fair in this world. Nothing. My brother died because of somebody else's mistake. That's not fair. There is no definition of fair in this world. You need to understand this. So, the moment you admit, when you're at the bottom, a lot of people avoid to admit it. When you're at the bottom, any type, financially, mentally, emotionally, any type, doesn't matter why. Doesn't matter why you're at the bottom. But if you're at the bottom, you need to admit it. Admit that you're at the bottom. Your back is against the wall. What are you going to do now about it? What are you going to do about it? That's where it makes a difference between you and the others. Mindset. Progress looks messy. It's not clean. It's not linear that you go step by step up. And that's it. Sometimes, maybe, if you're lucky enough. But in most of the cases, it's not like that. It's like a heart rate. There's up and down all the time. Now, how do you want to deal with that? The first thing you need to do is to have a strong mindset. Mindset is everything. Strong mindset. You need to think in the right direction. I'm not saying you need to think positive. No. Sometimes you need to think negative. Sometimes you need to think neutral. I would like to call myself, I am more of a realistic and positive thinking person. So I try to be realistic as much as possible, but also positive. That doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore the negative facts. Time heals everything, stuff like that, I don't believe in. This pain, nothing heals it. It's gonna stay until the rest of my life, until my last breath. I accept it. This is my reality. I'm gonna live with it. But I'm not gonna give up on my goals. I'm not gonna live in a way that my brother would be ashamed. I'm gonna live up to my potential. I'm gonna live up to the max. So that when one day I die, if I get the chance to meet my brother again, he would be like, I'm proud of you. You did it. You did the right thing. That's what I'm going to do. So if you're experiencing the same, if you're in the year one like me, or more or less, if you have lost someone you love, someone that is irreplaceable, someone that was your true love, someone that was everything to you, you don't need to be strong. You don't need to know why. Sometimes I ask myself, why? Why him? You don't need to ask that. All you need to do is to stay. Keep pushing forward. If this video helps you, I'm glad, and know that your loved one is your guardian angel now. He or she looking at you right now. Keep pushing forward.